This video is sponsored by Async Art. Async Art is rare, programmable art running on a blockchain that's split into dynamic layers. These change over time, affecting the overall image. This means the art evolves reacting to external data, whether that's the weather, the date, or even crypto prices. Two artworks worth highlighting are Micah Johnson's Sovereignty. This reacts to the date, and on the birthday of the two brothers in the artwork, it reveals a QR code allowing you to donate Bitcoin to them. The second piece is a collaboration between Trevor Jones and A Lot of Money called ETHBoy. You can check out all this groundbreaking programmable art at async.art. That is ASYNC.art. Thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, Jon Jordan. So today we are looking at the new AXIE Infinity token. It's actually called AXIE Infinity Shards AXS. So it launched early this week on the Binance Launchpad. So that's obviously a centralized server. So the only way you could get access to the token when it launched was being having an account on Binance and having the BNB coin, and that was the process they chose to launch on, which is actually what the Sandbox also chose to launch on. Other kind of projects have just launched onto Uniswap. That's probably a discussion for another time. But anyway, thought probably a good opportunity to have a look very briefly at what's going on with the AXIE Infinity Shard, and also maybe some of the other tokens that have launched in recent months. Obviously not investment advice at all. All this stuff, anything on the blockchain is particularly risky and can go can go down. Anything can go down as well as up, and is like to go down. And obviously on the blockchain you have all these issues that could be, you could have the kind of contracts could be hacked or could be exploits or any of this other stuff. So all pretty risky stuff. Never put in more value into anything on the blockchain than you can afford to lose. But anyway, AXIE Infinity, the game is doing well. They obviously have been planning for a while to launch this token, which is a governance token amongst other things, also a payment token. So we can see what's going on here. So I'm just looking at CoinGecko, which is one of the popular sites showing the price of coins. You know, we've only been live a few days, looking like yeah, not even really kind of 24 hours. So we can see this is the how the price was first picked up. I'm pretty sure actually it launched at 10 cents on Binance. I think that was the price that you bought it at, was 10 cents. So it's gone up since then, and it's actually kind of still up kind of from that price. But we can see typically we kind of do see this kind of stuff when something launches. Everyone's very excited. The people who couldn't buy it on Binance are now kind of piling in to buy some. The people who want to get rid of it on Binance and want to take their profit are selling it all off. So you tend to have quite a lot of liquidity in the market. People, you know, putting it on exchanges to be sold, and then people coming in and buying it. I guess the big interesting thing for us who don't have Binance accounts is it's now available on Uniswap. So this is looking at the how it's available. So the biggest kind of pair on Binance is the AXS Tether pair. So we can see what we got. Had $2.5 million worth of trading between those two. Then we have AXS and Bitcoin, and AXS and Binance Coin. And then we have now Uniswap. So Uniswap's obviously decentralized. You don't need, you know, there's no account with Uniswap. You just have a Ethereum token, Ethereum wallet, sorry. And so we have AXS with ETH. So obviously people on Binance have taken their token off to an Ethereum wallet and stuck it into Uniswap, so people can buy and sell on Uniswap. We can see the price. You know, is pretty much the same, but you know there is a spread on there, and we can see on Uniswap we've had $138,000 worth of trading on that, so much smaller than the centralized server. Which is kind of to be expected. A lot of liquidity on Binance, a lot of people using it. So that's what we've got going on here. There's another way of looking at it, which I think is quite nice. We can have a look at. So here I'm just looking at the Uniswap pools website of the protocol analysis. So you can, for any token that's on Uniswap, which is pretty much every ERC20 token, we can just kind of type in what we want to look at. So this is just a warning sign, so we can see here, you know, we know this is what the token kind of a ticker is, or the token symbol is. But we can see here there's three different, at least three different tokens that are listed there, and these ones look like they're fine, but these ones are scam tokens. So the one we want is actually AXIE Infinity Shard. So you always have to be very careful with Uniswap. You always have to really check the contract of the token that you're trading on, because these are, in this case, if you traded your ETH for this token is not worth anything at all, and basically scammers are just trying to nick your money. So careful with that. So this is what we choose. Obviously, one way of checking is the price is the same. So we know, we just looked at the price on CoinGecko. It was 0.135, and here we've got 0.4 rounded. So we can see, we can actually see the actual price here. And so we know, we can kind of like a double check that it's the right one. Here we can see how much liquidity. So this is how much value is locked into the Uniswap liquidity pool, $88,144. We can see the volume we looked at before, slightly different here, isn't it? Slightly higher than what they were showing on CoinGecko, maybe just a timing issue. And 288 transactions. We can actually, obviously, it's on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, so we can have a look. We can see what's going on here. So we can look at every transaction. So this person swapped, they had AXS tokens and they swapped it for ETH. So they swapped 3,568 AXIE Infinity Shard tokens, and they got 1.1 ETH back. We can see people this person here bought quite a lot. They bought $2,800 worth. So this is 6.3 ETH, and they got 20,111 AXIE tokens back. So we can just see kind of what's going on there. Just a way of kind of checking this kind of stuff. We can also look at the obviously these are very early days, very early figures, because it's not really been around very long. We can see the liquidity going in there, so liquidity being added. We can look at the volume, obviously. Yeah, a lot of volume on the first day. It looks like we're dropping off a little bit there. So is AXIE Infinity something to be investing in? So not investment advice. So all these kind of things, that's a decision you guys have to make. If you are playing AXIE Infinity, I play it a little bit, actually. No, probably should be playing it a bit more. But if you're kind of playing it, then obviously it kind of makes sense to have some, because that's required for the game. So you're not looking to make money on it. It's useful for you. It's a governance token. You can get more involved in the game if you have some. I wouldn't necessarily say of all the tokens I would invest in because they're going to go up in price, this is the one I would necessarily go for. But as I say, that's kind of personal advice depending on your risk profile. While we're here, let's have a quick look at some of the other tokens that have launched and get some idea of what's going on with those. I guess kind of famously, this is the Small Love Potion from AXIE Infinity. This is the utility token that you need to breed axes together to create new axes. You earn this from winning battles in the game. So it's a very kind of functional token. It's been out for it's kind of launched at the start of 2020, so it's been out for a while now. We can have a look at what was going on there. So we've done videos about this before. Basically, like we're going to see, I think, with a lot of these tokens, it launches kind of high because no one really knows what the price is. Price of these things after they launch tends to fall away when people want to make a quick profit of selling. And so you tend to have more sellers than buyers. That means the price goes down, and then obviously, not obviously, but what we had here was this enormous. So the price basically had started at 3 cents, and it ended up down at 4/4 of a cent. Started at 3 cents and ended up at 0.4 cents, and then we have this massive uptick here up to almost 20 cents. Basically, just people messing around and buying the token and then dumping it off. So it almost the next day kind of came back down again. Kind of the naughty kids playing with their crypto money. But we can see it stayed up higher than it was before, and this actually was a big boost to the AXIE audience, and particularly because this Small Love Potion price has stayed much higher than it was before. So we're up kind of what we were saying before. We were up to kind of 0.4 cents, and now we're 1.3 cents. So it increased like kind of 4 times. And it's actually still up high now. So just because this is a functional token, as AXIE has kind of gained more audience and there's been this kind of selling of NFTs, the price of the Small Love Potion has gone up, pretty steadily. But this is a functional token. This is kind of consumed in the game. So it's interesting that this kind of stuff can happen. This was not planned by the game makers. I mean, certainly this spike here, they thought as more people played the game it would go up, but this is kind of, you have these indirect factors going on. So let's have a look at two other tokens. So the Sand token, I've already mentioned. This was launched by this was launched on Binance. I was trying to think now what it'll tell me. A couple of months ago, probably. Well, we've got at least 30 days worth of data here. So very similar, I guess, to the AXIE Infinity shards, in the sense that it's kind of like a governance token, a payment token. This is part of the Sandbox, which is launching. Well, it's going to take a while to launch, but launching, having an open beta in December, so fairly soon. It's not a lot you can do with Sand at the moment. You can buy things with it. There's been some options to buy land with, or for some of the land sales they've done on the Sandbox, you've only been able to buy them with Sand, I believe. So we can see, kind of what happened here. So this is the max view. So we launched. It actually launched in August, mid-August. So it's quite a few months now, isn't it? 3 months. So we saw people got it on Binance. People started selling it, so the price goes down. Then we had this kind of uptick. But since then, if you take the long-term view, we've basically seen a decline in price. So we've got it launching at about 6 cents there, 6 US cents, 7 US cents, or depending on where you take it. I mean, now we're down to a bit of an uptick at the moment with the Bitcoin price going up, but now we're about 3. We went down to as low as kind of just under 3. So this is a token. I mean, I say this would be typical. I would think from a kind of this kind of launch because basically you've set the price. Binance and the Sandbox have set the price artificially, effectively, or based on previous sales, private sales they've done. But there's no market sustainability necessarily to that. So you kind of launch it out. You don't really know where the price is going to go. Generally, it goes down because people want to sell, and then it kind of finds some sort of level playing field. We've had a sell-off in. Generally, as the Bitcoin price goes up, people sell off other tokens to buy Bitcoin, so that's maybe driven the price down a little bit. But this is kind of what I generally expect to see, particularly as the product isn't live yet. When the product goes live, then there'll be some use for having this token. People in the who start playing the Sandbox will actually want to go and buy some Sand potentially. So that would be the time we'd maybe look to see some upward interest in there. But at the moment, as I say, it's you'd be very careful. I would never assume because something's being launched is going to go up. There needs to be obviously the speculation reasons why it can go up. That drives things up the most. Utility takes a lot longer to drive things up, but that's kind of the more sustainable way of these kind of asset classes actually increasing in value. And the final token we'll look at is the REVV token. This is from Animoca Brands, actually the company who are publishing the Sandbox. This is their token, which they're using actually across multiple games now. So it's being used and functioning in the Formula 1 game, F1 Delta Time. It's going to be used in their MotoGP game, and they've just announced the Formula E. That's the electric car Formula racing series. That's the REVV token. Again, this one wasn't launched on Binance. This one was just launched into a liquidity pool on Uniswap. So slightly more what we could call kind of holistic, decentralized sort of approach. Again, we're on max here, so it's been start of September. So we've had 2 months or so. And this is, I think, a slightly. I mean, obviously, when you create a liquidity pool on Uniswap, you have to create a price in order for the thing to work in the first place. So you do have to set a price, but probably a bit more flexibility in order to do that. And immediately, then the market is, it can work out whether it thinks that price is good or not. And you don't immediately because like on the Binance side of things, people have bought the token and then immediately want to sell it. In the case of launching a liquidity pool, you've put a pool in there, but no one has any of the tokens to dump. So you don't see this immediate sell off. I mean, the price actually did go down, and then we get kind of price went up again. So I mean, we basically ended up. Let's see, where did we start off at? We started off at about 1.5 cents. And basically before the little uptick that's happening now, we were about 1.5 cents. So obviously there's volatility. The thing goes up or down. But compared to I think launching on something like Binance, which tends to drive the price down for quite a long period of time, particularly if there's no utility in the token, if you can't use it yet. For AXIE Infinity, you can't use that token won't be usable, I believe, until 2021, early 2021. So you just basically have it as a kind of it's the only way that the price can be driven is speculation. Rev, they've started using it in kind of staking mechanics. You can't really use it yet very much in the game, to be totally honest, but you can just see there's a slightly different I think a slightly different trend going on here, that if you launch well through Uniswap, you don't set the price too high, then at least the price has not gone down, at least. So anyway, that's just some ideas about kind of launching these games, game-based tokens. As I say, none of it's investment advice. You know, you have to decide yourself on what your risk profile is. Never spend more money than you can afford to lose. Generally, when these kind of things launch, because I'm in the space, I generally buy like a little bit of it. You know, the whole nice thing about blockchain, I mean, obviously you pay gas fees, but you can buy very small amounts. You can buy $10 worth. You know, that is enough to kind of get a feel for the prices going up or down. So generally that would be the kind of approach if you were interested in this sort of thing that I would recommend, rather than piling in. Because these things can change very quickly and can certainly go down very quickly. And once something has lost 90% of its value, then you're pretty much you've pretty much had it. It's never very rarely is that going to kind of come back. So be careful out there, people. Thanks for watching the video. It's Blockchain Gaming World, where we spend our time looking at the world of blockchain games, making videos about it. If you like that sort of thing, please do subscribe. But thanks for watching this video, and hope to see you again soon.